Hello everyone, back again. This is Let Morris, just completing the sleeve for the cone dress off the shoulder, and we're nearly wrapping up now. So we've done, on the last video, we've showed you how to arrive at your sleeve from your block, which is, this is the block here. And we've got 4 sections, 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the 2 pieces of the front section, and these are the back section. And we're now going to show you how to do the facing for the sleeves. So this is a drawing, and this is the sketch. This is the sleeve. So we're going to do a facing that goes in there to finish it off the neck line. So here we go. We're going to be doing now the facing, and once again we've got to go back to our block. As I said, you must remember, you never throw your block away, because we always have to keep the block until we complete our pattern piece. So what we do is we're going to place our block on there, which I've done a draft, but I just want to show you how we arrive at it. We mark it on, place it on like that. We mark the grain line on, and all we did was trace off this section here, along here, put the grain line on, and mark a little bit of the armhole there, and the sleeve armhole along there, and then we take the block away, we put the grain line on, and then we measure down the same depth of the facing that we did on the front, and we put a mark, and we do the same thing from there, and then we connect up the shape. So this is now the facing piece for the sleeve that we have, and we're going to put on there cut 2 + 1 fuse. The fuse helps to give it a nice crisp line at the neckline. So you cut 2 of these. So these are your sleeve pattern piece. So all you have for your pattern piece, you've got 2 back piece and 2 front piece, and the facing, and that completes your sleeve. And the next thing that we have to do is what is called the cone. And we just get another piece of paper. It doesn't have to be a big piece of pattern paper, so I'll just cut a piece off there, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to fold it along this line, fold it so that I'm working from a fold edge like that. It's folded here, that edge is folded along there, and all I'm going to do, I'm going to make my cone. This depends on how wide you want your cone to be. You just imagine that you're having an ice cream cone, and you know that's basically how big it is. So I normally do it about 7 inches. So half of 7 inches, it's 3.5. So I'm going to measure out 3.5 inches out from the fold edge like that. Square the line out 3.5 inches, and I put a mark, and then I'm going to measure down from there to where that first notch is, because that's where the cone is going to come to, from the neck down to there. So whatever that measurement is, I'm going to measure from there down, and then I'm going to apply that measurement from that point there down. So if that is 4 inches, I'm going to make sure it touches there at the point of my fold, 4 inches touching there. So I'm getting that shape like that. So can you see that? So that is the shape that I get. Once I got that shape, I'm just going to add my seam allowance on there, which is 1 centimeter, because that's what I allowed along those panel pieces, 1 centimeter. So it's got to be the same amount, off to nothing. And then I'm going to add a seam allowance on the top of 2 inches where it just folds back. So once again, you square that line out. We're going to square it out at 2 inches. Make sure we square out on there, and then I'm going to fold on that line. Can you see that first line that we make? I'm going to fold back on there, fold it like that. Once I've folded, I'm going to cut out on that line like that down to there. So once I've folded on that line, I've opened it out back, and I'm going to cut off this line that I've marked here. So this section here, that's my seam. That section there is the seam allowance. I'm going to open that out so that you can see it, and I'm going to put my draw a line where I've folded, and that will be my grain line there. I'm going to use that as my grain line. So that's my folded. It folds back like that. You see that? And I'm going to write on there, cut. We need 12 of those, because we want 3 on one for one sleeve, 3 for the other sleeve. That's 6. 3 at the front and 3 at the back. So we're going to cut 12 pieces of those and that's our cone, the cone bit that we need, and that is folded back like that. And then we're going to, it's going to be stitched on that. For example, can you see that? I'm going to stitch that to that seam, and it goes to the top there. And then when we open them out, it stands up like that, and it forms a cone in there like that. And you can decorate it with lace, you can do contrast fabric, depends on what you're cutting out. You can be so creative with those little cone in your seams. So that's the cone piece of pattern for your dress. It looks like that. It's just a little piece, and you don't need to cut all 12 of them. You just need to cut one pattern piece and write on there 12, and then when you lay it on your fabric, you've got to cut 12 pieces of those little cone. So that is completing your sleeve pattern, your dress pattern, all completed now. That is your cone there, and that's your facing on there for your sleeves, and this is your sleeve. So that completes your sleeve and your dress. So there we go, we've finished now. It's taken a long time, but that's what, to get it nice and neat and fitting right, that's the process that you go through. Everything takes a process. It's not a quick fix. You have to, take time, spend time to create what you're creating, to get it to look right, to fit right. And when you put it on, you feel good in it, because everything is fitting. So it's a process. It's not a quick fix. Everything takes time. And, as you go along, you'll realize this. I have learned this over these years that I've been doing this. You've got to master your craft. And when you know your craft, you can't go wrong. So there we are. So the next time I come back, I'll be showing you how to lay it out on the fabric for you to cut out. So have a good day. Bye bye. See you soon.